just over 100 gunners are left with Captain McLeod, with no idea of what is about to hit them. As the forests swarm with Hitler's advancing armies, they are utterly alone.
The fighting was very hard, very fierce. It was like Custer's last stand, you might say. The guns, most of them were out of order. We had the carbine rifles and sidearms, 45 gun pistols, that's all we had left. Food went first, ammunition went next. I can remember killing about 3 Germans with a trench knife. I figured I may be killed. I never expected to be captured. Because I knew what the German mind was as far as black troops. So we all figured we was going to die, so what the hell, die fight.
George Schimmel and his comrades are ready to fight to the death, but their captain wants to save his men. With every last bullet spent, there's only one course of action.
McLeod had told me he was going to have to surrender to try to save lives because we didn't have nothing left to fight with. The Germans had to step over piles of their dead to get to us, believe me. We fought and took as many of them as we could.
George becomes a prisoner of war and completely at the mercy of some of the most fanatical Nazis in the German army. It's not a prospect to be relished by the black gunners. And the Germans lose no time in making the most of their African-American captives for propaganda purposes.
Immer wieder das gleiche Bild. Vorgehende deutsche Kolonnen, Gefechtsfahrzeuge, Nachschub, Rosse auf der einen Seite und Dreierkolonnen marschierender weißer und schwarzer Amerikaner auf der anderen Seite.
And among the confused and exhausted faces entertaining the German audiences is Sergeant George E. Schimmel.
I knew what it was all about. It was propaganda. I knew that. And it didn't bother me. I said, hell, who's going to see the pictures anyhow? Probably just Hitler.
It soon becomes clear what kind of enemy now controls the fate of George and his comrades.
The SS troopers looked down on us. They hated our guts, the same as they did Jews. There was a lot of white soldiers from the 106th Infantry Division that were prisoners with us. And they, I don't know, something about their looks or their names. Soldiers of Jewish origin, they pulled them aside and they took them someplace else. I never knew what happened to him.
George and the men who fought with him to the end are quickly marched to railheads and transported to camps deep within Germany to await their fate.